Welcome into the American Express halftime report. James Harden playing absolutely out of his mind. 20 first-half points as the Clippers take an 18-point halftime lead. We welcome you into our Atlanta studios. Ashley Shamedy here with Quentin Richardson, and we've got Carlos Boozer as well. You guys, the Clippers, they must have just needed to come back home to their beautiful arena, play in front of their home fans, because they have been absolutely electric offensively. 12 first-half threes, shooting 54% from the perimeter. I mean, that has been the story this first half.
No, they've been shooting lights out, guys. I mean, ain't nothing like some home cooking. They got home, and they've been playing great, like you said, in that new arena. James Harden got it started really early in the game. You see right here, the curl right here by Norman Powell. Does a good job of coming up and just knocking down shots. They're doing a good job of finding the offense. It just honestly looks like the basket's just wide open for them. Everybody's in the paint right here, as you see. Find your weak side shooters. Does a good job of drawing and kicking. They've been driving and kicking the entire first half, whether it's Norman Powell, Kawhi. All these guys are knocking down three-point shots. Even Nicholas Batum, 3 for 3 from the three-point line. So just doing a good job of finding each other. And obviously, James Harden is scorching, guys.
The system.
Something obviously needs to happen adjustment-wise defensively for the Denver Nuggets. But James Harden, you talked about it, Q, before the game in our pregame show. When he is electric, I mean, it is just hard to stop the offense overall, but especially Harden.
Yeah, absolutely. Right now, James Harden with the ball in his hand and playing in transition, coming at you downhill. And then when he gets into that pick and roll, he's been unstoppable because he's making all of the right plays, as Booz just pointed out, just coming off. If they're not playing it right, somehow, some way, every time he comes off the pick and roll, somebody's wide open. Whether it's on the opposite weak side, he has the option, as you saw, just drive to the hole, get the N1, get the three, and then he can pick you apart, just finding the open man. And they've been knocking down all of the shots. So this first half has been tremendous for them.
The Clippers on a 21-3 run to end that second quarter. It has just been absolutely electric. Before the Denver Nuggets, though, we've got Nikola Jokic. He's got 9 points, 8 assists, 6 rebounds. So making his way to that triple-double again, but just not seeing a lot of rhythm from them offensively. Obviously, what the Clippers are doing is throwing them off their game some, but what adjustments can we potentially see for this next half for Denver?
Yeah, Denver got to make more shots. I mean, obviously, the Clippers doing a good job of speeding them up. Nikola Jokic is on his way to another triple-double, but Michael Porter Jr. we need him to make some shots.
I was going to say the same
That's
thing.
the guy that they're looking for right now. I mean, Gordon came out the gate hitting some shots. Jamal Murray's playing great. They need something like maybe Michael Porter Jr. to get going. And I'm going to be honest, the big fella going to have to score more points this half. I mean, they're doing a good job of doubling him a little bit, especially with whoever Westbrook is guarding Westbrook, but Nikola may have to go out there and put the ball in the hole a little bit more.
Yeah, this is a game where they absolutely need some assistance from the others like Christian, Brian, MPJ. They need some energy and an uplifting from them. It doesn't have to be a crazy amount of points. It could be a steal, transition, dunk, something just to give some life to the team, because those two who are normally energy guys are 2 of 7, 2 of 5 right now, not doing much.
Clippers with an 18-point halftime lead, but another game that's on tonight. It is Oklahoma City and Memphis. And I don't think anyone had this on their bingo card. The Grizzlies leading 82-58 in the third.
Maggette, before you get going on, I know the gentleman who got it done. Shout out to the Wall. 6th man of the year, my man. I can hear him from out here.
The Wall was amazing.
The Wall was amazing.
I just love the fact that it's almost a college atmosphere to bring them back. That was just great thinking.
There we go. Speaking of college, James Harden played pretty good at Arizona. He looked like a spring chicken, so to speak, here tonight.
You know what? It was the offense was a little bit stagnant, and all of a sudden it was 22-26. James Harden hit a three, changed the game. Came back, hit another three. Stopped ahead, a stop on the other end, came back and hit another three. This is what we continue to see from James Harden, this sensational play. You need a guy that's one of the 75 greatest players of time, future Hall of Famer, to take off when you need it, and you had great bench support that came in with 14 bench points from their supporting cast.
Yeah, that was the point in the game when Kawhi and Big Zoo took a seat, and the system took over. As we look at the first half stats, again, it's tight. But the bench, as you mentioned, stepping up. Nico Batum, my goodness, what a first half for
analyst John Gonzalez. John, you're in Southern California, big night in Inglewood. What do you expect the scene to be like for the first ever playoff game at the Intuit Dome?
Yeah, I think it'll be a good atmosphere. I'm a big fan of that building. I've gone myself. It's a fantastic facility, probably the best arena that I've ever been in, Akeem. And I think if you're Steve Ballmer, you're thrilled by the way that this season worked out, because there were some questions. He was building this new building in Southern California, in Los Angeles, in Inglewood, where they're obviously the second team in Los Angeles behind the Lakers, right? And all of a sudden, Paul George leaves. Last year, Kawhi Leonard didn't make it through the playoffs. And you're looking around going, man, this could be really bad. You're opening a new building, and the team might be bad. Well, instead, the team has been really good. You saw what happened with Kawhi Leonard in the last game, 39 points. He's cruising right now. Looks like vintage Kawhi. And I think that that building is going to have a lot of energy for a Clippers team that had pretty low expectations and overachieved. And then the facility just inside, that wall that they built behind the one basket, where it's the fan section that goes from floor to ceiling, that's completely unbroken. It's only Clips fans. I mocked it at first. I thought it was ridiculous in concept. I didn't know who they were going to get to fill it. Well, they filled it all season long. It's really great. All those guys do a great job. They're going to have a lot of fun tonight. I think that it's already a dogfight of a series, but tonight it's going to be one too.
And you never had to wait in line to use the bathroom. 1,400 toilets, right? Like that is that's efficiency right there. Like I appreciate Steve Ballmer with the efficiency when building that arena.
Yeah, he put a lot of thought into that. Also, it's kind of like a Minority Report experience where they just facial scan everything when you go to pick up a hot dog or a hat or whatever. Okay. Your ticket is your face. The whole thing is state of the art. It's a little creepy at times, but it's also pretty cool.
Okay, all right. First two games of this series, wild. Game 1 going to overtime. Game 2, 18 lead changes, 12 ties. How are you evaluating this series through 2 games?
Exactly what I thought it was going to be, which is that these two teams are really close. A lot of people singled out, including my podcast partner, Bill Ryder, our NBA insider, thought that this would be the best series of either conference. And so far, it has lived up to the hype. We've had 2 games. They've played 101 minutes, including the overtime in game 1. The Clippers are up 1 point on the Nuggets. That's how close it's been. We got a vintage Kawhi game in game 2. We also got in game 2 a bad triple-double from Nikola Jokic, who's the only player in the world who can somehow have a bad triple-double. That's how absurdly good he is. And we got the overtime thriller in game 1 that the Nuggets kind of stole. And you could almost argue that the same thing with the Clippers kind of stealing game 2, because so many things broke wrong for the Nuggets in the final 2 minutes of game 2. So yeah, I initially picked the Nuggets in game 7 just because they have the best player in the world in Nikola Jokic. I expect this one to go the distance. It wouldn't surprise me at all if the Clippers are the team that moves on. But man, how lucky this in terms of entertainment at its base. The NBA is entertainment, and this one is supremely entertaining.
Yeah, great series. Kawhi Leonard. It's great to see that Kawhi Leonard is looking like his old self. 2-time Finals MVP with 39 points in that Game 2 victory, 15 of 19. James Harden says it was like he couldn't miss. What did you see from Kawhi in that Game 2 victory, and should we expect him to stay locked in tonight?
Well, as long as he's out there and he's healthy, I would expect him to stay locked in. That's always been the question, right? And I know that James Harden got a little upset about it. And after the Game 2 press conference, he was saying that people in the media like us are too critical of Kawhi being healthy. It's just something that comes with the territory about talking about Kawhi. When he won the championship in 2019, Akeem, I covered that whole thing. And this reminds me, what we've seen from him so far in these first 2 games, this reminds me of what we saw from him back then. I didn't know that we'd ever see it again. He scored 39 points. He was incredibly efficient in game 2, 15 of 19 shooting. When you score 39 points, sometimes you expect a guy, maybe he's throwing up some heat checks in there, he's taking some bad shots, he's feeling himself. Not with Kawhi. He somehow was under control in a 39-point game where he only misses 4 out of 19 shots. That's a problem for the Nuggets. They don't have anybody to guard him. You can throw Jamal Murray at him, Christian Brown. They tried Aaron Gordon at times, but then that means that Aaron Gordon isn't out there covering other guys. There's no good answers for them. Now, the same applies on the flip side with the Clippers trying to guard Joker, although Zubac is probably a better answer than anything that the Nuggets can throw at Kawhi. But yeah, even when you have your best defenders on Kawhi, when he's playing like this, he's unstoppable.
3-time NBA MVP Nikola Jokic had another triple-double in the Game 2 loss, as you mentioned, but uncharacteristically, he had 7 turnovers. John, you got to clean that up to beat a re-energized Clippers squad here.
Yeah, and I would expect that he will, because, I mean, when we're talking about Nikola Jokic, anybody else, yeah, you have 7 turnovers. That's a bad game for anybody. But he also had a triple-double. He averaged a triple-double over the course of this season. He's just the 3rd player in NBA history to do that, along with his teammate Russell Westbrook and Oscar Robertson. He's the first center ever to do it. And during the game, you could see it. He was frustrated with himself because he expects better of himself. All of us, including Nikola, went, that's uncharacteristic. He threw the ball around. He didn't make the right read. Not only, Akeem, is he the best best player in the NBA, but he might be the smartest player in the NBA. He thinks the game at a level that we've only seen with people like LeBron James. I mean, that's how good this guy is. So I would be absolutely shocked if he didn't clean it up and it wasn't a typical Nikola Jokic game where everybody goes, oh, yeah, not only did he have another triple-double tonight, but he took care of the ball and they won the game.
Clippers are 5.5-point favorites tonight. Vibes are going to be through the roof there at the Intuit Dome. First ever playoff game in that arena. John, who do you like in Game 3?
Yeah, straight up, I like the Clippers, but if you're asking me against the spread, I'll take the Nuggets and the points because whichever team is getting points in any game in this series, give me that team because, as I mentioned, they've played 101 minutes of basketball so far, and the Clippers have outscored the Nuggets by exactly one of those points. It's been that close, so there's not a lot of margin for error here. I want a little cushion. Whichever team is getting the cushion, I'm on that team, so yeah, give me the Nuggets and the points.
There we go. Tip time for Game 3 set for 10 p.m. Eastern. We'll have full highlights and reaction here on CBS Sports HQ with John.
Vợ ai nằm người đây?
Các bạn bố ở đây. Mày thấy thôi thông cảm. Bố con nửa cái bà bố rồi.
Xin chào tất cả mọi người đã quay trở lại với kênh của mình. Ngày hôm nay mình sẽ tiếp tục hướng dẫn các bạn làm vòng với tiêu đề quả mâm xôi.
Qua sáng ngày chị gọi là sớm.
Hôm nay chị thuê em đi nhổ răng từ 7:30 mà.
Thế chào bạn qua từ lúc đấy đi.
Hai chị em đi xứ trò. Bốc nha ba nhú cá hải phòng.
Cho 200 mình luôn nha để biết cô.
Mẹ lấy 200 nữa gì? Cầm 200 nữa gì? 10.000 đâu?
Cầm 10.000 đâu? Nó điều thì chưa hỏi được ra là nghe rồi. Có cầm 10.000 đâu? Cầm ra 200 mà bốc thăm lại thì được 200.
200 mà.
200
200.
200 cũng được. Cầm ra 200 rồi.
Có 200 mà. Không không. Mai bắt cả mẹ mang vào đây để luộc cả lúa ăn nhá. Tối mai nhá.
Hả? Bắt gà.
Mai bắt con gà của mẹ, con là mẹ ăn luộc, mang vào đây luộc cả lúa xé, chấm như muối ăn.
Ôi trời ơi. Tội nghiệp. Nghiệp.
Mẹ ở nhà
mà lương là đây ra cái đổi lương hết.
Mấy nghìn? 10 à? Không. Đi. Đây rồi, đây rồi. Đây, năm em một tuần này rồi.
Thôi, đi ra bóng. Đi con hai là chị đi ra bóng rồi.
Đi được 8 rồi. Đi.
Ôi chứ trận bóng hai là 7-0. Thua. Ôi, đây là 7 bàn. Lấy ra chứ 7 bàn để thua rồi. Giờ 5-1, sau vắt 12-11.
Mẹ nó quay mẹ mẹ đấy, ba mẹ à?
Vâng.
Không quay mẹ.
Ba mày. Không còn đâu mà cái đi hai máy đi ra sạc rồi.
Đấy là mấy nhà anh thu ngồi thế. Mấy cái bàn này đây. Ví dụ em quay năm mẹ đủ không? Không, bình thường em quay tận 8 máy. Vâng. Video của em còn. Xem video còn không nhiều, còn nhiều file không?
Phòng máy này đi nặng quá. Đi tại cái phòng không đi lấy, rồi lấy cái này. Cái gì?
Video của Phong nhiều file không để ta giúp bớt lấy của Phong. Một video của anh Nam.
Nhiều đó.
Long thì ngồi bên tính như
không gì. Cho video của Phong nhiều không. Mày làm gì có video? Đấy.
Video tay bên tay của Phong.
Chỉ là cắt giãn thôi, thì đâu mà.
Cắt giãn không? Xong rồi anh không file.
Chơi. Lâu mới check một lần thì không phải là ấy không có suốt được đâu.
Lấy gì nhỉ?
Trưng bày không nhiều không ít.
Lấy cái sách. Lấy sách cái này viết đi không?
Không kệ nhanh.
Anh xem ở video này em cần.
Thì em vẫn dùng đây thôi. Đâu.
Giúp đỡ. Dục. Thế mà mình giục ta, mình đuổi cái thằng đừng cô xin đuổi cái thằng đấy nó về có phải là bình thường không?
Đó